Okay, now we're on the square roots review. I'm going to add a few other things in here just in case. Okay, so number 1, it says the square root of 39 lies between which two consecutive, that means one after the other, whole numbers. So we should know what a whole number is. Okay, so if we find the square root of 39, we get 6.2444. So if I had a number line, let's do 6.244 is going to be, there's 6 and there's 7 is going to be in between here, right? These are my whole numbers, and these are consecutive whole numbers, so we're going to say 6 and 7. It's better sometimes to use that number line. Okay, number 2, round to the nearest tenth. So the square root of 642 is equal to 2.5.3377. Well, in class we practiced the hundredth, but this one's asking for the tenths place. So this is the tenth. I'm going to look over here. Remember, if it's 5 or greater, you round up. If it's not, you leave it alone. So 25.3. So that is read as 25 and 3/10. The next one, if you remember the video that we did before, it says shaded in a representation of the perfect square 16. Well, if it's a perfect square 16, you should have shaded, let me do this better. You should have shaded a 4 by 4, which gives you 16. So I'm not going to draw the full square, but I'm going to try to make it so it's a 4 by 4. So that's in half, that's in half, that's in half. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to divide this in half, make it 2 there and 2 there. So 16 little things should have been shaded. It's a 4 by 4. So if I said 4 squared equals 16, and then the square root of 16 equals 4. That's how you figure out it's a perfect square, and it makes a perfect square. Number 4, it says identify the location of the square root by placing a point on the number line. So the square root of 75 is equal to 8.66. So if I drew a number line, it would be somewhere in here, right? So it's between 8 and 9. Number 5, square root of 13, put that in your calculator, right? 3.6055. So number line, I have a 3 here, a 4 here, it's somewhere in here. So it's between 3 and 4. Number 6. I know somebody said it says 2016 only. That's your new standard. So square root of, remember, in the calculator, first of all, you're going to just write down negative. Because when you do the square root of that number, it's going to be negative. So don't put the negative in the calculator, or it doesn't work. So you're going to do the square root of 90. And the square root of 90 is negative 9.486. So don't forget, you're in the negatives now. So you have a negative 9, then it goes to negative 10. So it's somewhere in there. Okay, be careful on those negatives. Number 7, square root of 145 is equal to 12.0415. So let me do a little number line here, even though it doesn't ask for it. So you have 11 and then you have a 12. So you know it goes in here. So if I had to fill in these boxes, oops, I did that wrong. Made a mistake. Okay, so it's 12 points. So there's 12 and 13. All right, so it goes in here somewhere, right? Or even, yeah, that's about right. And when you put these in the boxes, like you read from left to right, 12 comes first, and then 13. You don't want to get those backwards. All right, we're on number 8. Number 8, negative square root of 12. So the answer is definitely negative. Square root of 12 is 3.464. Draw yourself a number line. So you have a negative 3 and a negative 4. So it's in between here somewhere, right? So when you fill in these boxes, you don't want to get this wrong. Read from left to right and negative 3. Okay, so that's the end of the square roots, but actually let me put a few others on there. Now when you see the square root of 36, you get 6. Okay? When you see negative square root of 36, we're going to say that it's negative 6. Some of you were asking about this positive, negative, or sometimes they'll show the plus and the minus. So the positive and the negative 36. That means, what's the positive square root of 36? It's 6. And what's the negative square root of 36? Negative 6. Don't forget, you may have some problems like this. Square root of 10 plus 6 plus 5. So you've got to add underneath that 16 plus 5. Square root of 16 is 4 plus 5, and that's 9. So don't forget those either. All right, go on to the next one.